Sorry, I've kind of ran out of time to make this video nicely animated like the previous one, so yeah, it might be a little bit more boring. Hello Loserbait. I see that you have translated all of the information that is currently on the main menu info page that was posted to the official Future Tone website. Future Tone. No plural. Not future tones, like I was saying in the previous video. Silly Zed. This is awesome. So much so that a video to cover this is in order. Before I start, I did add a couple of annotations to the previous video, mostly with the hold notes. When I said optional, I don't mean you can miss the entire note, that will drop your combo, but if you decide not to hold it down, you will not lose your combo. Also, when you are holding 2 or more buttons, the moment that you let go of any note, all of the notes in the hold combo will be dropped. Okay, so the game is not available yet, so this video is just pretty much me scrolling through a website. Hello website. This is the game's main menu. Please enjoy the following information. I think the icons here are self-explanatory enough. We have Rhythm Game, Customize, Gallery, and this one that's really hard. I'm not even going to attempt to tell you that it's PlayStation Registered Trademark Store. And Option. This part's pretty much an introduction to each segment, so I'll just sort of combine that with the more in-depth information. So, Rhythm Game. Not surprisingly, here you can play the game and watch PVs. Upon selecting Rhythm Game, it's where you get to choose the song and difficulty. You can sort the songs by difficulty, alphabetic, or your own results like clear, fail, and so on. Now, about the difficulties, there are 5. Easy, normal, hard, extreme, and extra extreme. Extreme and extra extreme, which not all songs have, require you to pass hard to unlock. There are also some songs that do not have an easy or normal mode. Well anyway, next segment here is how to play the game. The mechanics I've already covered in the previous video, but basically, target icons will appear, then a melody icon will fly in, and once they line up, you press the corresponding button. With accurate timing, your clear gauge increases. Once you pass the border, which changes depending on difficulty, and the song finishes, you clear the song. With an inaccurate hit, your life gauge decreases. If it depletes entirely, the game is over. Now, about the song start screen. The song start screen is basically straight after you selected a song, you'll get a few options. This is pretty much easy mode. Basically it means that run to the end of the song. So if your life gauge hits 0, you don't fail. Now in the arcade game, it does not record your score. So if you pass, it doesn't count. It's basically practice mode. But there is a better practice mode I'll talk about later. And this says Rhythm Game option. It says you can change the appearance of icons here. Vocal change and PV change. Note that only some songs support the vocal change and PV change options. Practice. Future Tone now has a practice mode. This is new to the series. Finally, you can track to a certain time in the song so you can repeat this point to master sections you otherwise perform poorly. You can hit a button to reset to that point of time. It says Tempo Restart. PV Appreciation and Camera. Watch a song PV with ease using PV Appreciation. In addition to the PS4's Share feature, you can hit triangle to take a still photo at any point in the song. You can actually use that photo as a loading image. PV photos can be viewed or shared from the PS4's capture gallery. Customize. Modules, hairstyles, customize items that are purchased are listed here. This is also where you can change controller and UI settings. You can set up each song individually or just have all songs with a particular setting. Alright, module, hairstyle, customize item. For characters shown in the PVs, modules, hairstyles, and customize items can be set up and changed here. Unavailable items can be purchased with the in-game currency, VP, known as Vocaloid points. In addition, all modules and hairstyles can be purchased at any time. What I mean by that is, you don't have to actually unlock a costume before you can spend your VP to unlock it. Changing modules. In this screenshot you can see the layout of how to choose and change modules. Any modules that you haven't purchased has got a convenient purchase icon underneath them. You can preview modules before spending your VP on them too. Now about recommended modules. Each song does have a recommended module based on the song's theme. There is a recommended module button to use to be able to select them. Hairstyle Customize. Now this is a bonus feature for those that have both Future Sound and Colorful Tone packs. Like in Project Mirai, you can mix and match modules and hairstyles. Again, there is a preview before purchase button. I suspect that once you bought the module itself, it comes with a hairstyle and vice versa. Customize item. Head, face, chest, and back can be altered with customize items. Again, you can see everything here, and if you haven't purchased with VP yet, a convenient purchase button will be there. And again, there is a preview before purchase button. Game operation settings. Let's take a look at the game options. Settings changed here affect all songs. Key config. As shown in the previous video, you can pretty much remap all the buttons as you please. Nearly. You can change the D-pad, circle, X, triangle, square, L1, L2, R1 and R2. An icon can have multiple buttons attached to it, just like by default where up or triangle represents triangle. Furthermore, for melody icons where you have to press multiple buttons at the same time, you can allocate this to just a single button. So if you're finding you're not so great with the default setup, feel free to change this to your liking. Additional options. An introduction to the other settings. Melody icon display. Now there's more in the screenshot than what the website is actually explaining. For example, here is a clearer view from the promotion video.
We can see the options here are key config, slide operation extension,
No idea what that is. Simultaneous button support,
controller vibration, controller speaker, miss note vocal.
That's where you pick if they sing or not when you're missing notes. Melody icon display, and considering that number 1 is up and left, that is the default. And clear border display. This shows in real time how you fare against a great or excellent pass as well. What the website does talk about, melody icon display, and these are your 5 patterns for melody icons. This was shown in the previous vid, basically lets you replace certain face buttons with arrows, making diagonal inputs easier on the brain to visualize. You can also configure to see just the face buttons or just show all arrows. Multi-button hit support. Now this is where you can set up the button assist indication. That's where it shows a controller on screen for multiple notes. Certain difficulties won't let you use this. And this is a judgment support function. This basically says, when hitting multi-notes, if the number of buttons you pressed matches, then your life gauge will not go down. I guess this means that say you're supposed to press up and X, but instead you hit down and circle, you still hit 2 so your health doesn't go down, although I'm sure that your combo would still be lost and score affected. I suspect that this also will not be available on harder difficulties. Gallery. View your score, achievement ratios, percentages of clears and stuff, and online rankings here. Records. Personal bests per song. Self-explanatory really, shows your personal high scores. Clear stats. Now this shows songs you cleared and how well you've done on them. This is based on showing perfect excellence and so on. And ratio, which I believe is a percentage. Now it's not written here, but I think the highest percentage you can get in the arcade game is 106.5%. Now of course this is different for every single song, that just happens to be the song or songs that you can achieve that in. Information. This shows your songs cleared based on difficulty, gameplay time, amount of modules you own, and so on, for your browsing pleasure. Online ranking. High score ranking. This shows the top scores for each and every song on hard, extreme, and extra extreme difficulties. Achievement ratio ranking. This shows your achievement ratio rankings for each song. As mentioned previously, I believe, is as percentages. Survival ranking. Now this is another bonus for those who have both launch packs. What is survival mode, I hear you say? Well, since my previous video, an interview has been published and they actually mentioned this. It doesn't fully explain, but this talks about having one life gauge to clear multiple songs in a row. There are 10 courses. One course can have like maybe 5 or maybe 10 songs. I suspect that this life gauge will not increase as you're doing well, but I haven't found anything that tells you that yet. Survival courses. This shows rankings for each course. Not surprisingly, for online rankings you do need a PlayStation Network account and of course be connected to the PSN network to register your scores and also to see scores. The other amusing thing that the rankings actually just show the top 3,939 players. Tutorial! Well, that's basically learn to play. And we're at the bottom of the page. There's no detailed information about the PlayStation Store or options yet, but I'm sure the PlayStation Store is kind of self-explanatory, and options, sound or display settings can be changed here. Again, the website doesn't show anything yet, but I suspect this is where sound volumes can be adjusted and also adjustments for your TV input lag. Which, in-game adjustments for TV input lag, I don't actually personally believe in. Personally, I believe that you need to buy a cheap monitor that has low input lag rather than rely on a game trying to compensate for you. Hey look, in this review this guy's talking about slide notes, the touch panel and the motion sensor. Tilting. Okay, bye.